here it is.
Okay.
On 135 at the top, we stand this day, all of us, in the presence of our God, youth and elders, women and men, those close to tradition and those who have been estranged. All are welcome in this community of prayer. Around the world, all Israel greets this holy day. We stand with them, a people united by our history and fate, linked in mind and heart to generations past, who stood before God to be cleansed of their sins in Russia, Poland, Germany, and Spain, in Morocco, Egypt, Brazil, and India. Our great-grandparents are here with us today, and our great-great-grandchildren as well. All are present in memory and hope. We stand this sacred morning, all of us, as one. Page 137.
Author of life, your care for us teaches us to care for ourselves. Embraced by you, I embrace your mitzvah, choose life on this holy day of atonement. Let my spirit, as well as my body, be nourished by the food and drink that will sustain me through the day. Blessed with strength and well-being, may I pursue a life of tshuva, tefillah, and tzedakah, return to the right path, prayer, and righteous giving.
So our opening song on the next page is Ma Tovu, and since you've heard this only 150,000 times in your life, we hope that you'll at least join in on the chorus. Every day of our lives, we're supposed to be involved in Torah at some moment of the day. Sometimes it's best to do it first thing in the morning, not to dispense with it, but so it can frame our day with knowledge and vision, with our tradition and an outlook of how we might act. So the blessing for Torah study is on page 142. If you can follow the Hebrew, we're going to recite it together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Together, blessed are you, Adonai, our God, supreme power of the universe. You sanctify our lives with mitzvot, and give us the sacred obligations of learning and living Torah. The Torah we're going to learn is on page 154. Rabbi Gorbin's going to lead us in the teaching of one of her professors, one of the great scholars of our time, Rabbi Rachel Adler, page 154. Excuse me, yes.
154, yes. Sin in the context of relationship is not a transgression of an abstract norm, but an injury toward an other rendered vulnerable by his or her trust. Tshuva is turning again to face the other, not to annul what has occurred, but to sew up the wounds and determine how to go on. Relationships bear scars because they have memory. As memories accumulate, they carry consequences that bind us. They retell how we have come to be related in the way we are, but they also point toward what we must become, what we must recreate, what we must repay. Without memory, there can be no covenants. In a theology of relationship where there are flexible boundaries between God and others, both unity with and separation from God are possible. Imagine God as continually pregnant with, delivering, rearing, and separating from the world, like a tree at once bearing blossoms, unripe fruit, ripe fruit, and the stems and scars from fruit that has fallen from the tree. The world inside God, outside God, part of God. As in halakha, the unborn infant is part of its mother's body and separate from God, as the emancipated child is separate from a parent who still watches its story unfold, sometimes with pride and sometimes with pain.
On the next two even pages, 156 and 158, are the two prayers for the body and the soul. As I often remark, this prayer for the body is often translated as our veins working, which is a marvelous thing, but it's also our organs working, which some of us, as we get older, becomes really, really important as our functioning every day. And some of us, it's not about the body at all. So it really is about the spirit that animates us, even when the body is in pain, to be able to fulfill our hope of our neshama, to be the soul that we hope to be. Please, we're going to start with Asher Yatzar. Please look at the page that you would like to fulfill your needs on this day.
Asher Yatzar et ha'adam b'chokhmah u'v'ravon nekavim nekavim chalulim chalulim
Elohai, Elohai, neshama, shenatata bihi tehorahi. Ata yitzarta, ata yitzarta, ata nefachta bi, ve'ata mishamra b'kirbi. Elohai, Elohai, neshama, shenatata bihi tehorahi. And we turn the page and offer daily blessings for the miracles of life. As I like to say, waking up is a really good one. And the other things that happen in our lives, opening our eyes, having firm ground to walk on, being able to sense ourselves, who we are and what we must do in the world. The beautiful thing about Judaism is you don't have to say the bracha to get full credit. All you have to do is say amen. We invite you to either chant with Cantor Berman or respond amen to each of the Nisim B'chol Yom, the daily miracles of life, starting on page 160.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan l'sechvivi na'levchin bein yom uvein laila.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, pokeach ivri.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asuri.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, zokef kefufi.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, rocha haaretz al hamayim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa li kol shakim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamechin b'tzadei gaveh.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, malbish harumim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hanoten layav koach.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamavir shenayu Hamavir sheina me'enai u'torah afapai.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani b'tzelem Elohim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani b'chorim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani Yisrael.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, ozer Yisrael b'gvura.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, oter Yisrael b'tifara.
Amen.
We're turning ahead to Ashrei. A day without Psalms is like a day without sunshine, because you can't have orange juice today, can you? You know something? Sometimes what I think is lighthearted humor may come off as snark. Today is not a day for snark. And so if you are moved the wrong way, rubbed the wrong way by any of my comments, first of all, I'll try to restrain them. And second of all, it is only meant that this is not a day of only heaviness. This is a day that should lift us. And sometimes humor is the path to doing it. Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha Od Hallelujah Od Hallelujah Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha Chair to join me if you'd like to. Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha Od Hallelujah Od Hallelujah. Please turn the page. Psalm 150 and 170 is what I call the kitchen sink psalm. We throw everything into it, everything that you could, cymbals and dance and voice. If they wrote it in our day, King David would have put it in his iPad. It would have been everything, the Samsung, the device, everything you have. And we sing it here with Leonard Cohen's famous Hallelujah. Please come in on the chorus. At the end, I'll ask that it just be your voices. Hallelujah, ki abuzo. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, Ruhatav. Hallelujah, Kirov Gudlo. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, take a shofar. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, tofu machol. Hallelujah, minim ve'ogav. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, tzitzle shama. Hallelujah, tzitzle trua. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Kol anshama tehallelujah. Anshama tehallelujah. All of us. Hallelujah. 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 We continue this section of our prayers with a passage called Ha'el B'Ta'atzumot at the bottom of page 172.
הגדול בפחות שמך, הגיבור לנצח והנורא בנורותיך, המלך יושב על כיסא רם ונישא, שוכן על מרום וקדוש שמו, וכתוב, רננו צדיקים באדוני לישרים נאווה תהילה.
Page 175.
ישתבח שמך לעד מלכנו, האל המלך הגדול והקדוש בשמיים ובארץ. Our sovereign God, source of holiness and greatness, may your name be praised forever in this world and beyond. Eternal One, God of our mothers and our fathers, your strength, sanctity, glory, and dominion are deserving of song, praise, poetry, hymns, sacred chant, and blessings of thankfulness for all time and eternity. Baruch atah Adonai el melech hadol betishbachot, el haodot adon haniflot, habocher b'shirei zimra melech, el chei haolamim.
Before the Chatzi Kaddish on the bottom of page 177,
Hey, clockmaker, I was looking for you. Builder of the machine, you lost interest, I guess, and walked away. But I was looking for signs of you. I saw accidents, mutations, disasters unpredicted and unexplained. Pretty sloppy work, if you ask me. Hey, clockmaker, praised be your name and the names of your mechanics. On the facing page, Chatzi Kaddish. Please rise as you're able. Continue on page 178.
Baruch hu et Adonai
page 181. We join together in the middle of the page. Like an unbroken current, energy streams from the source, bathing the planet in light, calling forth life, movement, mind unfolding from matter, the power to love. And we offer it back to you, our own creative energy, ever dreaming, building, shaping patterns out of chaos, searching out light in the darkness. Creation never ceases, not for an instant. All life is aglow with your light. All things draw sustenance from the source.
Baruch atah Adonai yotzer hameorot.
Amen. Page 183 at the top. Again, we join together. You love us by helping us grow. You give us a Torah, a ladder for the soul, words that draw us upward. Every mitzvah an invitation to climb. Forge and kiln and crucible to purify our hearts. You give us Torah. You love us by helping us grow. On the facing page, 2 lines up from the bottom, and then going over onto page 184, we sing V'ha'eri Neinu.
V'ha'eri Neinu B'toratecha B'toratecha V'dabek libeinu B'mitzvotecha B'mitzvotecha Ve'yached levavenu Le'ahava ul'hira Et shnecha Ve'lo nevosh Ve'lo nekalev Ve'lo nekasher Le'olam Le'olam va'ed. Together towards the bottom of the page. Bring us in peace from the 4 corners of the earth. Lead us with upright pride to the land that is ours. For you are a God of miracles and wonders. From all the peoples of the earth you sought us out and brought us near to your great, enduring truth. So with love we acknowledge and proclaim that you are one.
Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'yamo Yisrael b'yahava.
As you are able, please rise. The Shema is proclaimed in loud voice, both the Shema and the Baruch Shema on Yom Kippur Day.
Shema
Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kivod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated, and we continue on page 188.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות ידיך והיו לדודפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
On the facing page, we join together. When you love Adonai Elohecha, body and soul, these things I ask of you will be possible, to answer your children's questions about me, and to believe your answers yourselves, to connect religion to your everyday comings and goings. For example, when you hug them in bed at night with tender words, Shema Yisrael, Or when you think to say Modeh Ani in the rush of getting them up and out in the morning. To be alert enough to open doors for your children in every waking moment and when they dream. And finally, to remember just why all these things matter. They matter because I, Adonai Elohecha, brought you and your children out of Egypt to be God for you. I am your God, and when you do these things, I will be your children's God.
Page 191. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
On page 193, we offer responsively, Emet v'yatziv, true and enduring. All else is fluid, impermanent, fleeting.
Unsteady we falter, in chaos we cry, in quest for some certainty, an anchor for trust.
Tzur chayenu magen yashenu, rock of our lives, our shield and protector, you are the constant, abiding through time.
Because speaks wholeness and justice. You, the still center, fixed point where we stand.
From the ends of the earth, from the depths of despair, we call with the psalmist to our fortress and refuge. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I.
Our shelter and strength, grounded in you, we shall never be shaken.
The towers of cities will crumble with age, and iron corrodes and decays into rust.
The words and teachings that echo from Sinai are true and enduring. Forever they stand.
We sing these words from Sinai on 194.
196.
Sorry.
שפת הים, יחד כולם, הודו וימלכו ויאמרו. אדוני אלוהינו לעולם ועד. צור ישראל, ופתחנו מחי יהודה וישראל, קולנו אדוני צבאות שמו, קדוש ישראל. ברוך אתה אדוני קהל ישראל.
On page 199. I still don't know whom, I still don't know why I ask. A prayer lies bound in me and implores a God and implores a name. I pray in the field, in the noise of the street, together with the wind when it runs before my lips. A prayer lies bound in me and implores a God and implores a name. To the west when the sun sets, to the east when it rises there, to each spark that it shows me the light, that it show me the light and make my eyes bright, to each worm that glows in the darkness at night, then it shall bring its wonder before my heart and redeem the darkness that is enclosed in me.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. זוכרנו לחיים, מלך חפץ בחיים, וכתבנו בספר החיים, למענך אלוהים חיים. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה.
Amen. 204.
אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב והושיע, מוריד אתה, מחלקי החיים בחסד, בחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, צומח נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו בשני עפר. מי כמוך בגבורות, ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה. מי כמוך אל הרחמים, זוכר יצוריו, לחיים ברחמים, לחיים ברחמים, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל.
Amen.
Please be seated.
We're on 208 at the top. The prelude to Unatana Tokef. Uvachenu lecha ta'ale kedusha, kita Eloheinu melech mochel v'soleach. Together, our sovereign, God of pardon and forgiveness. Let these words of sanctity ascend to you.
וכותב וסופר ומונה, ותזכור כל הנשכחות, ותפתח את ספר הזיכרונות, ומאליו יקרא, וחותם יד כל אדם בו.
Together, let us proclaim the power of this day, a day whose holiness awakens deepest awe and inspires highest praise for your dominion. For your throne is a throne of love, your reign is a reign of truth. In truth you are judge and plaintiff, counselor and witness. You inscribe and seal, you record and recount. When you open the book of memories, it speaks for itself, for every human hand leaves its mark, an imprint like no other. And so a great shofar will cry Tekiyah, a still small voice will be heard. Angels in a whirl of fear and trembling will say, "Behold the day of judgment," for they too are judged. In your eyes, even they are not blameless. Together, all who come into the world pass before you, like a sheep before their shepherd. As a shepherd considers the flock when it passes beneath the staff, you count and consider every life. You set bounds, you decide destiny, you inscribe judgments. Page 212.
Rosh Hashanah Yikatevu Uvyom Som Kippur Yechatevu.
Please join us.
Rosh Hashanah Yikatevu Uvyom Som Kippur Yechatevu.
Rosh Hashanah Yekatevun, Uvyom Som Kippur Yechatemun, Kama Yavrun, Vechama Yivareun.
Rosh Hashanah Yikatevu Uvyom Som Kippur Yechatevu Rosh Hashanah Yikatevu Uvyom Som Kippur Yechatevu.
Michye umi amut mi v'kitzo umi lo v'kitzo mi v'aish umi v'mayim mi v'cherev umi v'chaya mi v'rav umi v'tzama.
Rosh Hashanah Yikatevu Uvyom Som Kippur Yechatevu Rosh Hashanah Yikatevu Uvyom Som Kippur Yechatevu.
Mi varash, umi varash, umi vamagefa, umi vamagefa. Mi varash, umi vamagefa, mi vachanika, umi vasekila, berosh Hashanah yikatevun. Uvyom Tzom Kippur Yechatemun.
Rosh Hashanah Yikatevu Uvyom Som Kippur Yechatevu Rosh Hashanah Yikatevu Uvyom Som Kippur Yechatevu.
Mi anuach umi anuach, mi ashkit umi etoraf, mi shalev umi tyaser, mi ani umi ashir, mi ushpal umi arum, berosh Hashanah yikatevun, uvyom Som Kippur yechatemun,
Rosh Hashanah Yikatevu Uvyom Som Kippur Yechatevu.
An empty page, an open book, a day of ultimate questions, we join together.
Will I still be here next year at this time with the ones I love beside me?
What is in store for my family, and what will become of my friends? Who will have reason to celebrate? Who will contend with grief? New love, new babies, marriages deepening or breaking apart, prosperity, struggle, reversals of fortune, illness and health await us.
Who will be missing when we gather next? Who will stand apart?
Who will be estranged?
And
And who will have joined us, enriching our community? On the edge of the unknown we tremble. What lies ahead for us all? An empty page, an open book. Nothing is written and nothing is sealed. Flesh and blood, frail creatures, our lives are fleeting and subject to change. The strength to persist, to prevail, to comfort one another in the dark. Prayer, right action, a turning toward the good. These give us hope and help us bear the pain of life.
Page 214.
Page 216. Together, we who are mortal, our origin is dust, and so is our end. We wear out our lives to get our bread, like broken vessels, like withered glass, like a flower that must fade, a shadow moving on, a cloud passing by, mere dust on the wind, a dream that flies away. But for you, ever-living sovereign, time has no limits.
Your presence, unbounded by days and years, is everywhere.
A glorious mystery none can decipher. Your name is worthy of you, and you are worthy of your name. And our name you have linked with yours. Please rise as you are able as we continue with the Kiddushah.
Nekadesh, Nekadesh, Nekadesh et Shimcha b'olam, Nekadesh et Shimcha b'olam, Keshem shemach
נצחים, קדושתך נקדיש, לדור ודור,
לדור ודור, לדור ודור, נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים, ולנצח נצחים, קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו, מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד, כי אל מלך גדול, כי אל מלך גדול, וקדוש אתה.
לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים, ולנצח נצחים, קדושתך
נקדיש.
Before re-entering the formal prayers on page 222, there's a poem by Amichai in the facing page I have to read, because the image is wonderful, funny, and profound. God lies on his back under the world, always busy with repairs, always something going wrong. I wanted to see all of him, but all I can see are the soles of his shoes, hence my tears. And this is his praise. We continue with Uvechein on page 222. And so, in your holiness, give all creation the gift of awe, turn our fear to reverence, and let us be witnesses of wonder. Receiving all nature as a prayer come alive, we bow to the sovereignty of your strength, the primacy of your power. We yearn for connection with all that lives, doing your will with wholeness of heart, awe-inspiring your creation, while encompassing your transcendent name. And continuing on Uvechein Tenkavod on the following page. And so, in your holiness, give your people the gift of honor. Bless with praise those who praise you. Bless with hope those who seek you. Give your believers a basis for faith, true happiness for the land of Israel, and true joy in Jerusalem. May the spark of David, your servant, soon grow bright enough for us to see, a beam of light in the darkness, a promise of perfection. Uvechein Tzadikim is on 226, but I'll be reading at the opposite page at the bottom. The sages teach the righteous of all nations have a place in the world to come. And the scripture says, my house shall be called a house of prayer for all peoples, so let them be blessed. All those who pursue justice and act with compassion, those who give strength to the Jewish people and help build our future, cherish family and friends, allies and porters, with gratitude and love, we give them praise. We continue in the middle of page 228. Kadosh ata v'nora shemecha ve'ein Eloah mibaladecha kakatuv v'yigba Adonai tzva'o b'mishpat ha'el hakadosh nigdash b'tzedakah. Together, you are holy, your name is awe.
Baruch atah Adonai
Shema.
HaMelech HaKadosh.
Amen. We read together at the top of 230 in English. You chose us with love to be messengers of mitzvot, and through us you made known your aspirations. Among all the many peoples, you give us a pathway to holiness. Among all the great nations, you uplifted us and made yourself our sovereign. And so we seek you and serve you and celebrate your nearness to our presence. Dear great.
ותיתן לנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה את יום הכיפורים הזה, למחילה ולסליחה ולכפרה, ולמחל בו את כל עוונותינו מקרא קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים.
We continue with the Kedushat Hayom, the sanctification of the day, again in English on 232. Our God and God of the generations before us, may a memory of us ascend and come before you. May it be heard and seen by you, winning your favor and reaching your awareness, together with the memory of our ancestors, the memory of your sacred city, Jerusalem, and the memory of your people, the family of Israel. May we be remembered for safety, well-being, and favor, for love and compassion, for life and for peace on this Day of Atonement.
זכרנו אדוני אלוהינו בו לטובה.
אמן.
ופוקדנו בו לברכה.
אמן.
והושיענו בו לחיים.
Amen. Eternal our God, remember us.
Amen.
Be mindful of us.
Amen.
And redeem us for a life of goodness and blessing.
Amen.
We continue on 235 at the bottom of the page. Sometimes, instead of poetry, we need instruction. And the Rambam, Maimonides, helps us with that at the bottom of the page. It is forbidden for a person to be cruel and refuse to be appeased. Rather, one should be easily pacified and difficult to anger. When someone who has wronged you asks for forgiveness, you should forgive that person with a whole heart and a willing spirit, even if the person aggravated and sinned against you greatly. Let the offender come 3 times and ask sincerely for forgiveness. If the offended person continues to be stubborn and refuses to forgive, one is not required to beg forgiveness any longer. The one who refuses to forgive is now the sinner. We continue on page 236. Please just read the black instead of the blue. That is for Shabbat. God who is ours, lead us to holiness through your mitzvot, and may each of us find a portion of Torah that is ours. You bestow such goodness, teach us to be satisfied. And we continue with V'taher Libeinu on the facing page.
V'taher Libeinu,
V'taher Libeinu, V'taher Libeinu le'avdecha be'emet. V'taher Libeinu, V'taher Libeinu, V'taher Libeinu le'avdecha be'emet.
כי אתה שכר לישראל, ומחלן ישבתי ישורון בכל דור ודור, ומבלעדיך אין לנו מלך מוחל וסולח אלעתה.
Help us to serve you truly with purity of heart, for you are the forgiver of Israel. In every generation granting pardon to the tribes of Yeshurun. We have no God of forgiveness and pardon but you alone. And we continue with the Chatimah, the blessing that ends the sanctification of the day.
ברוך אתה אדוני מלך מוחל וסולח לעוונותינו ולעוונות עמות בית ישראל ומעביר אשמותינו בכל שנה ושנה מלך על כל הארץ מקדש ישראל מלך על כל הארץ מקדש ישראל מלך על כל הארץ מקדש ישראל ויום הכיפורים.
Amen. And the beautiful Ritzeh is sung on page 238. Last night for the Hoda'ah, the sixth of the 7 brachot of the Amidah, I talked about noticing. Noticing being what we need first and foremost for gratitude. So look at the bottom of 241 and see what the poet notices. It's a kind of love, is it not? How the cup holds the tea, how the chair stands sturdy and foursquare, how the floor receives the bottoms of shoes or toes, how the soles of feet know where they're supposed to be. I've been thinking about the patience of ordinary things, how clothes wait respectfully in closets, and soap dries quietly in the dish, and towels drink the wet from the skin of the back, and the lovely repetition of stairs. And what is more generous than a window? We continue with Ve'al Kulam on the following page.
ועל כולם יתברך ויתרומם שמך מלכנו תמיד לעולם ועד וכתוב לחיים טובים כל בני בריתך וכל החיים ידעוך סלע ויהללו את שמך באמת האל ישועתנו ועזרתנו סלע ברוך אתה אדוני
ברוך שמו
הטוב שמך ולך נאה להודות
Amen. Did you like being blessed last night? I hope you did. You get another one right now.
אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, ברכנו בברכה המשולשת, הכתובה בתורה המורה מפי הכהנים, עם קדושך כאמור. יברכך אדוני וישמרך.
כן יהי רצון.
יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך.
כן יהי רצון.
יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום.
כן יהי רצון. Before the Sim Shalom is sung, please look at the poem on page 247, a classic by Yehuda Amichai. My child wafts peace when I lean over him. It is not just the smell of soap. All the people were children wafting peace, and in the whole land not even one millstone remained that still turned. Oh, the land torn like clothes that cannot be mended, hard, lonely fathers, even in the cave of Machpelah. Childless silence. My child wafts peace. His mother's womb promised him what God cannot promise us. Sim Shalom.
Sim Shalom.
We're not taking time for silent prayer because we'll be taking several minutes in the middle of our vidui, our confession for what's called cheshbon hanefesh, the self-accounting of the soul. So just a brief reading, and then oseh shalom. If you look up page 251. My hope is that you hear. I know that it holds little. So they told me. Even so, I want to hope again for this, that you hear how I hope. My hope is like a hind waiting. Be careful not to embrace it. Break one dry shoot of a tree and it goes. And will we have the strength for another beginning? I hope and am that hope. So much of the music we do for high holidays is unique to this time. If not written for this time, we only do it at this time. As my friend Benji Schiller says, it's taking down the fine china. But you know something? There should be songs that we sing that we know and love. So at the end of the Amidah, it's customary to sing Oseh Shalom, and hopefully you'll all sing with me. Oseh Shalom Bimroma, V'hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru Amen.
We continue on page 293. Because I was angry, because I didn't think, because I was exhausted and on edge, because I'd been drinking, because I can be mean, because I was reckless and selfish, because I was worried about money, because my marriage was dead, because other people were doing it, because I thought I could get away with it, because I did something wrong, because I'm in pain, because I wish I could undo it, because I hurt him, because I lost her trust, because I let them down, because I was self-destructive, because I was foolish, because I'm ashamed, because that's not who I am, because that's not who I want to be, because I want to be forgiven. Together, God, bring down my walls of defensiveness and self-righteousness. Help me to stay in humility. Please give me the strength to do what's right. Page 294.
Shema Koleinu Adonai Eloheinu, Hu Sferachim Aleinu, V'kabel berachamim uvratzon et tefilatenu, Hashivenu, Hashivenu, Adonai elecha v'nashuva, Chadesh yameinu kekedem, Chadesh yameinu kekedem, Amareinu hazinu Adonai binagigenu, Yihul ratzonim rifinu, V'egyon libinu lefanecha, Adonai turenu v'goaleinu, Al tashlichenu milefanecha, V'ruach kodshecha al tikach mimenu, Al tashlichenu li'et zikna, Kichlot kochenu al
Please turn the page. Our God and God of all generations, together, may our prayers reach your presence.
And when we turn to you, do not be indifferent. Adonai, we are arrogant and stubborn, claiming to be blameless and free of sin.
In truth, we have stumbled and strayed.
We have done wrong.
Ay, 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 ay.
Ashamnu, bagadnu, gazalnu, dibarnu dofi.
Ay, 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 ay. Evinu, v'hirshanu, zadnu, chamasnu, tafalnu sheker. Ay, 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 ay. Yatznu ra, kizavnu, latznu, maradnu, niatznu, sararnu, avinu, pashanu, sararnu, kishinu oref. Ay, 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 ay. Rashanu, shichatnu, tihavnu, tainu, titanu.
On 299, for the sin we committed against you through evading and avoiding, because we could not face the truth, for our flight into hypocrisy and deception, because we did not dare to speak it, for the facts we dissembled and all we glossed over, for the excuses we made. Together?
For feeding our bodies and starving our souls, for interfering with the souls of others and neglecting our needs, for neglecting our responsibilities, for reproaches and recriminations.
For our foolishness, our folly, and false standards, for seeing these things only in others, never in ourselves, for our complacency which blinds us, and for our self-righteousness which lessens us.
For calculating kindness and measuring out pity, for charity that is cold and prayers without feeling, for withholding our love.
For the appeals we ignored and the people whom we refused, for the affection which died in our lives that became bitter, for the visions which faded, the ideals we neglected, and the opportunities we lost.
For the fear of change and renewal and our unbelief, for saying prayers aloud but refusing to listen, for being our own worst enemy.
We continue with the sins of particularity in the Al-Chet. Al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha ba'onas uv'ratzon, v'al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha b'yod'im uv'lo yodim.
The ways we have harmed you under duress and by choice, and harm we have caused in your world consciously and unconsciously. Al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha bivli da'at, ve'al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha b'ritzat raglayim lahara.
The ways we have wronged you throughout our thoughtlessness, our harm we have caused in your world through impulsive acts of malice.
Al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha b'chozek yad, v'al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha b'zilzul horim u'morim.
The ways we have wronged you by abusing our power, and harm we have caused in your world through disrespect to parents and teachers.
Al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha b'yetzer hara, ve'al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha b'kashiyut oref.
The ways we have wronged you by giving in to our hostile impulses, and harm we have caused in your world through inflexibility and stubbornness.
Al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha b'chachash u'chazav, v'al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha b'kalut rosh.
The ways we have wronged you through lies and deceit, and harm we have caused in your world by making light of serious matters.
Al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha b'siach siftotenu, ve'al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha b'tzarut ayin.
The ways we have wronged you in our routine conversations, and harm we have caused in your world through envy.
305 at the top.
We focused inward, narrowing our vision. We were preoccupied with ourselves. We turned our backs on the poor and defenseless. We were contemptuous of the weak. We tolerated violence against children, neglect of the old, exploitation of the innocent. We told ourselves there was nothing we could do. We wasted the resources of the earth. We denied our own responsibility and put it out of our minds. We kept silent when we should have spoken out, and we gave in to cynicism and despair. We sought entertainment instead of enlightenment. We were lazy, indifferent, and callous. We forgave ourselves too easily for our failures. We forgot that we always have a choice.
And we all kulam is at the bottom of 306.
Yal kulam elosifot
Silach lanu mechalanu kapelanu
Yal kulam elosifot Silanu mechalanu Silanu mechalanu
With the Cheshbon HaNefesh, which is on 308, 309, I have a suggestion that is environmentally sound, which means you can recycle it back to me if you don't care for it. Instead of taking these few moments and trying to read everything, look at the headings in italics. I reflect on the harm I've done to myself, or I reflect on the harm I've done to my family and friends, or I reflect on the harm I've done to the world around me, or I reflect on the harm I've done to the Jewish people. I'd offer the notion that maybe read one section, and instead of reading them quickly like a litany, let the taste of the words be felt in your mouth. Let each phrase touch you. And if you don't get through more than 3, that's okay. God hears every word that you have not said. Take this moment for your own Cheshbon HaNefesh, your personal accounting. On 310, we're going to be singing Ki Anu Amecha. If you want to continue in your private reading, please feel free to do that as well. Otherwise, please join us on 310.
Ki anu amecha ve'ata Eloheinu Anu banecha ve'ata Avinu Anu adecha ve'ata Adoneinu Anu kehalecha ve'ata chelkeinu Anu nachlatecha ve'ata goroleinu Anu tzonecha ve'ata notreinu
ואתה יוצרנו. אנו רעייתך ואתה דודנו. אנו סגולתך ואתה קרובנו. אנו עמך ואתה מלכנו. אנו ממירך ואתה ממירנו. We proceed to the Torah service for Yom Kippur. But first, we have Avinu Malkeinu, and we'll be opening the ark, and as you are able, we'll ask you to rise. Avinu Malkeinu Shema Kolenu. Avinu Malkeinu,
Almighty and merciful, hear our
Wait a minute,
voice.
252, are you there yet? Avinu Malkeinu, take 2.
It's a good thing we can repent.
Avinu Malkeinu Shema Kolenu.
Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, hear our voice. Avinu Malkeinu, chatanu lefanecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, we have strayed and sinned before you.
Avinu Malkeinu chamol aleinu va'alol aleinu v'tapenu.
Avinu Malkeinu, have compassion on us and our families.
Avinu Malkeinu, kaladever v'cher v'ra'av me'aleinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, halt the onslaught of sickness, violence, and hunger.
Avinu Malkeinu kale kol tzara mastin me'aleinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, halt the reign of those who cause pain and terror.
Avinu Malkeinu, kotvenu b'sefer chaim tovim.
Avinu Malkeinu, enter our names in the book of lives well lived.
Avinu Malkeinu chadesh aleinu shana tova.
Avinu Malkeinu, renew for us a year of goodness.
Avinu Malkeinu, malei yadenu b'birchotecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, let our hands overflow with your blessings.
Avinu Malkeinu harem keren meshichecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, let our eyes behold the dawn of redemption.
Avinu Malkeinu, na al teshivenu reikam milfanecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, we pray, do not turn away from you with nothing.
Avinu Malkeinu kabel barachamim v'ratzon et tfilatenu.
Avinu Malkeinu, welcome our prayer with love, accept and embrace it.
Avinu Malkeinu, aseh imanu leman shmecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, act toward us as befits your name.
Avinu Malkeinu aseh lemancha im lo lemanenu.
Avinu Malkeinu, act for your sake, if not for ours.
Avinu Malkeinu, en lanu melech ela ata.
Avinu Malkeinu, you alone are our sovereign.
Avinu Malkeinu patach sharei shamayim letfilatenu.
Avinu Malkeinu, let the gates of heaven be open to our prayer.
Avinu Malkeinu, shma kolenu, chus v'rachem aleinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, hear our voice, treat us with tender compassion. Avinu Malkeinu, Chaneinu Haneinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chaneinu Haneinu, Ki ein banu ma'asim. Aseh imanu, tzedakah v'chesed. Aseh imanu, tzedakah v'chesed, ve'oshienu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chaneinu Haneinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chaneinu Haneinu, Ki ein banu ma'asim.
On page 255 is the beginning of the Torah service in Hebrew, Ein Kamocha, led by our entire choir, whom we're thrilled leading us in song. And we'd like all of our Torah readers, Philip Roslowski and Hannah and Mitchell Joey, to come up now, along with Nate Kaplan and Nate Green will be helping with the Torah service. And our Torah holders now.
Ein kamocha v'Elohim Adonai, ve'ein kemase
Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu Kadosh v'nora Shemo.
Gadol Adonai iti, uneromema shemo yachdav.
Lecha Adonai
Hallelujah, Hagevura v'tiferet, ve'anetzach ve'hahor.
Kichol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz.
Kichol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz. Adonai amamnacha,
First reader.
ve'mit
This one's ready.
na'aseh
Torah's gotta be out there. It's in the back.
lechosh.
Lecha Adonai Hagedula Hagevura v'tiferet ve'anetzach ve'hahod. Kichol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz. Kichol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz. Lecha Adonai amam lecha ve'amit na'aseh lechosh.
Please sing along.
Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omein. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, ha'olam.
Olam omein. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omein. Al shlosha devarim,
Al shlosha devarim.
al
go there?
shlosha devarim, ha'olam
Ha'olam omein.
al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim. Okay, you can help undress it, please. Just pull that.
Torahs. We got Torahs?
Pull it straight up.
That's okay.
Okay, you can lie it down. You good? Okay. You want to undo that?
Ollie, ollie, oxen free.
And then take the yod. Find your spot. Okay.
All right, Rick. We're just waiting for the ark to close so people can sit. The Torah portion today, and by the way, when you sit, don't get too comfortable because you might be called. Who knows? So for the first Aliyah today, anybody who is new to Temple Sinai, been here for the first time, or you joined here in the last 4 years. If you joined in the last 4 years, it's your first time, come on up, this is your Aliyah. Okay? Come on, don't be bashful. Oh my God, you veterans. If you are newer to Temple Sinai, we want to honor you and have you come up. Somebody's coming up right now. That's one person. There we go, Steffi and Elke, they're coming up as well. They're fairly new, right? There you go. Come on up. Hi, Jamie. There we go. The Torah portion for today is what I referenced last night, and it's Avim, all of us standing together, hearing Moses' last instructions. You can find and follow the Torah reading in your prayer book. We're not doing the whole thing. We're doing selections from it. It starts on page, if I can get it right, Really? 266? Okay, 266 is a Temnet Savim. All right? Okay, Simon says, move to your left. There we go. Simon says 2 steps forward. Oh my gosh. I wish my kids did obeyed. There we go. Ready? Here we go, guys. 1, 2, 3. Baruch et Baruch Adonai Barak Leolam Vaed. Amen. Come hold the 8s right here. Just put your hand on it to keep it firm.
Amen. Atem nitzachim hayam. Kochem lifnei Adonai Elehechem. Rashechem, shiftechem, ziknechem. V'shotrechem kol ish Yisrael. Tapechem, nishechem, v'gercha. Asher bekerev machanecha. Mechotev. Etzecha ad shoev meimecha la'avracha bivrit Adonai Elohecha uv'alato asher Adonai Elohecha koret imcha hayom.
You are all standing here this day before Adonai your God, your tribal heads and your elders and your magistrates, every man of Israel, along with the women and children and the strangers within your encampment, from the one who cuts the wood to the one who hauls the water, in order to cross over into this covenant of Adonai your God, along with all of its warnings that Adonai your God is cutting with you this day. Ready, guys? Here we go.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natam lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Now you can tell they didn't want to all come up, so you give them a great big Yesher Koach here. 1, 2, 3. Yesher Koach. Yesher Koach. Yesher Koach. If you haven't done this before, you have to wait around because I'm going to call a group. It might be your group. So remember we talked about last night? Any of you have ever grown vegetables? If you've grown vegetables in a garden, come on up. This is your aliyah. If you've made the earth sing with tomatoes, eggplant, or whatever.
That's right around there somewhere. Yep, you got it.
That's Barbara, not me, you know.
Good. You want to hold it?
Do you know each other, Barbara, Ellen? Do you know Ellen? Okay. What?
This is a boy, so Drew knows who to call him.
Yeah, absolutely. You think I'm crazy?
Really.
I'm crazy like a fox. Oh my gosh, are we going to have a garden this spring? Look at all these gardeners. What do you grow, Amy? I have to tell you a quick story while they're assembling. We have somebody who helps with our lawn and our garden, a wonderful old Italian named Joseph Ambrogio. And when Barbara said she wanted to plant eggplant, he didn't want to do it. He said, what would you use eggplant for? And she said, I eat it. No questions more after that, okay? Here we go, guys. I'm going to hold this really high. For all the gardeners, here we go. Make your words grow. Baruch Adonai Barak Leolam Vaed. What do you grow? Amen. Yeah, pull that down so we can see. You're not as tall as your brother? Really?
Amen. Leman hakimotecha hayom la'olam v'hu yelecha le'elohim ka'asher diber lach v'cha'asher nishbo la'avotecha la'avraham u'yitzchak u'Yaakov v'lo etchem libadchem anochi keret et habrit hazot v'et halah hazot כי את אשר ישנו פה עמנו עמד היום לפני אדוני אלוהינו ואת אשר איננו פה עמנו היום.
In order to establish you this day as God's people, and God will be for you as a God, just as God spoke to you, just as God swore to your ancestors, to Abraham, Isaac, and to Jacob. And not with you alone do I cut this covenant, and along with this appropriate warning. No, it's with those who are here with us standing this day before Adonai, our God, and those who are not even standing with us this day. There you go. Baruch. Amen. Amy Dubin knows me so well, she said, you just wanted them up here so Drew could look up here and see who to get to volunteer for this thing. Boy, she knows my mind. So everybody say, Yeshua. If you ever sung in a singing group, a choir, or high school, or just sung, you were in a show in a community or something like that. There we go. Come on out. Come on, Diane. Come on. We love singing. Remember last night? Oh, look at it. The gardeners are all singers? Oh my gosh, look at that. Gordons, it's been a long time. Hello. How are you? I couldn't tell if it was a tallis or not. That would be a beautiful tallis. We should give you we should teach you how to make the fringes, and you could wear it as a tallis. You're reading? Okay, and you're reading at Ki Mitzvah, right? Yeah, yes, it's very simple. Hi, Sam. Come on, Jacob. Get up here. Nobody's going to be Les Miserables today, okay? Oh, my gosh. Look at all these people. Look at these sweet singers of Israel, we call them. And I saw your kids. There they are. Come on, they're right up. You can be right up here, too. And by the way, you did this before me, right? This is your job now. Your job is to hold that up and don't fall off. Okay, over here. That's in. Fill it in. Hey, love you. Good to see you. All right. Laura, get tall. Come on, get there. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Baruch Adonai Baruch Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Leolam Vaed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. We're at the bottom of page 267, Ki HaMitzvah, for this mitzvah.
Amen. Ki hamitzvah hazot asher anuchi metzavecha hayom lo nifleti mimcha velo rechoka hi lo bashamayim hi v'emor miyala lanu hashamayim v'yekocha lanu v'yashminu ota v'na'asena ולא מעבר לים היא לאמור מי יבא לנו אל עבר הים ויכוחה לנו וישמיענו אותה ונעשנה כי קרוב אליך הדבר מאוד בפיך ובלבבך לעשותו.
For this commandment that I am giving you this day, commanding you this day, is not too marvelous for you. It's not too far away from you. It's not in the heavens that you might say, who will ascend heavenward for us and take it for us and cause us to hear it that we might do it? It is not even across the sea that you might say, who will traverse the sea for us and take it for us and cause us to hear it that we might do it? No, the matter is very close to you. It is in your very mouths and in your heart to do it. There we go. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah temet v'chayei olam nata b'tocheinu Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen. Where's Ben Wecht? Is he up here? Ben, John, we have the core of our informal singers, right? Right here. So we'll see about that. Anyway, everybody say Yesher Koach. 1, 2, 3. Wait a minute.
Wednesday, 7:30.
That's one. Try it again. 1, 2, 3. Yesher Koach. Okay, if you're a religious school parent or have had a student or child graduate within the last 6 years of our program, come on up. Only the parents, the parents, the parents. Rebecca, if you're a parent, don't tell your mother, she'll be shocked, okay? 6 years, 6 years, it's your, yeah, come on. She qualifies. She'll come up anyway, Religious school parents, we want to honor you. Look at these wonderful people. Okay, Judy, come here, hold the Torah. All of you, Simon says, 1, 2, 3. People be bashful. We should make this into a tallis. We should really. Could. Yes, you could. Why not? Why not? Rabbi Gorman will teach you how to make the knots. She'll teach you how to do it.
And that would make it a towel?
Yes, just the fringes. Just talk to Rabbi Gorman. She knows how to do the knots.
Okay.
I failed knots. That's why I was a bad Boy Scout.
I did it as a kid. Yeah. I didn't know I could do anything.
Okay. It's apparent we are going to celebrate our parents. I'm sorry. Here we go. You got to get, come on. 1, 2, 3. Get close. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Baruch Adonai Merach Leolam Vaed. Amen. At the bottom line of 267 on to 268.
אמן. ראה נתתי לפניך היום את החיים ואת הטוב ואת המוות ואת הרע אשר אנוכי מצווך היום להבא את אדוני אלוהיך ללכת בדרכיו ולשמור מצוותיו וחוקותיו ומשפטיו וחיית ורבית וברכך אדוני אלוהיך בארץ אשר אתה ושמה לרשתה ואם נפנה לבבך ולא תשמע ונידחת השתחווית לאלוהים אחרים ועבדתם.
See here now, I place before you this day life and good and death and evil. And I am commanding you this day to love Adonai your God, to walk in God's ways, and to observe God's commandments, ordinances, and laws, that you might live and increase. And Adonai your God bless you on the land that Adonai is giving to you, or giving to you to go into and to occupy. If you turn your heart and you do not hearken, and you reject and you bow down to other gods and serve them, dependent clause, next Aliyah will answer that. Dun, dun, dun. Baruch. I'm glad you stayed. Amen. The parents who give us our children for our school and our Torah. 1, 2, 3. Yeshua. Excellent. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for driving billions of miles. Billions. If you are 36 or under, the next generation, we want you for this aliyah. 36 and under. Anybody who's at least bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah, 36 and under, we want you. I saw some Miller kids. I saw Kaplan kids. You can't say you're 36 at heart. I wish I could say that. Annalise, come on in. Come in. You get to see.
Starting here.
Come on, our future. Come on up. We've got Miller brothers. She's not bat mitzvah yet, right? It's okay. Come on. Okay, can I ask you to come a little closer? Fill in. Okay, thank you. Hi, Nathan. Hi. Okay. Bree, you want to be tall? Why don't you hold that and be tall for everybody, okay? And you've already been tall, so we're going to let you be tall, okay? I'm passing it. No, it's all right. I know, but he's already had a shot. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Baruch Adonai Barach Leolam Vaed. I love the talis. You're going to hold this. Come here. Higadchi. Amen.
Amen. Hikareתי לכם היום כי אבות עובדון, לא תאריכון ימים על האדמה, אשר אתה עובר את הירדן לבוא שמה לרשתה. העדותי בכם היום את השמיים ואת הארץ, החיים והמוות נתתי לפניך, הברכה והקללה, ובחרת בחיים למען תחיה אתה וזרעך, לאהבת את אדוני אלוהיך, לשמוע בקולו ולדבקו. כי הוא חייך ואורך ימיך, לשבת על האדמה אשר נשבע אדוני לאבותיך, לאברהם, ליצחק וליעקב, לתת להם.
I declare before you this day, I shall surely doom you, and you shall not increase your days in the land that Adonai, that you are crossing over the Jordan to go into and take possession of. I call to witness against you this day heaven and earth. Life and death I have placed before you, blessing and curse. Choose life if you and your offspring would live, to loving Adonai your God, hearkening to God's voice, clinging to God. For God is your life and the length of your days, so that you might dwell in the land that Adonai swore on oath to your ancestors, to Abram, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give to them. Ready? Amen. Stop a second. Look at our future. Look at how they master Torah. Look at how they stand with pride, saying our blessings. We who are my age and older, we should have no fear with the world that we have created, or at least built a little bit more of, being placed in their hands. How about a Yesher Koach for them? 1, 2, 3. Yesher Koach. Yesher Koach. Thank you. Thank you. You and I both believe in angles.
Yeah, it doesn't sit right.
Yesher Koach. Yesher Koach. Yesher Koach. Yesher Koach. Yesher Koach. Yesher Koach. Great solace there. Yesher Koach. Thanks for helping. The Mishaberach for healing, the version we're going to do is on page 273 at the top. And I want you to take this moment to think of those in your lives who are in need of healing of body, mind, and spirit. Those who are in hospitals and those who are in nursing homes without any visitors, who really do suffer from daily loneliness. Those who walk the street or the earth with a stone in the heart or face the daily battles of sobriety. All those who are broken, we wish them healing, and we sing for that now with the Mishaberach on 273.
Yishaberach avotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov. Yishaberach imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, v'Rachel.
We say Yamdu Hamagbi Vagolel, the one who lifts the Torah and the one who ties it. As the Torah is lifted, it's customary if you are able to please rise. So we ask you to do so now. Come on, Nate.
Okay, you're going to follow and make sure nothing bad happens, okay?
Vizot
HaTorah asher sam Moshe livnei b'nei Yisrael al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. 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 Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe.
Do you remember I said last night that the Ki Anu Amecha is a one-page theology better than a 1,000-page book?
Stand next to her.
The 14 verses of Isaiah 58 are the greatest social justice sermon ever given. And you can follow it in your book after the appropriate blessing. The blessing is going to be chanted by Liz Miller, who is married to this wonderful man to my left. His name is Josh Breslau, who's head of the Tikkun Olam Center for Jewish Social Justice. So after the appropriate blessing on 275, we continue on 277 with the words of the text. Let's get you a mic. There we go.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar binbinim tovim v'ratza v'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai Habocher b'Torah u'Moshe avdo u'Yisrael amo u'V'niv'yei ha'emet v'tzedek.
Amen.
Cry from the depth, says God. Do not hold back. Lift up your voice like the shofar. Tell my people their transgression and the house of Jacob their sin. Yes, they seek me daily, as though eager to learn my ways, as if they were a nation that does what is right and has not abandoned God's law. They ask of me the right way, eager for God's nearness. They say, why did we fast and you did not see it? We afflict ourselves and you do not know it. Because even on your fast day, you think only of desire, while oppressing all who work for you. Because your fasting is filled with strife, and with calloused fist you strike. No, your fasting this day will not lift up your voice before heaven. Is this the fast I desire? A day to afflict body and soul, bowing your head like a reed, covering yourself with sackcloth and ashes. Do you call this a fast, a day worthy of the favor of Adonai? Is not this the fast I desire? To break the bonds of injustice and remove the heavy yoke, to let the oppressed go free and release all those enslaved? Is it not to share your bread with the hungry and to take the homeless poor into your home, and never to neglect your own flesh and blood? Then shall your light burst forth like the dawn, and your wounds shall quickly heal. Your righteous one leading the way before you, the presence of Adonai guarding you from behind. Then when you call, Adonai will answer. And when you cry, will respond, I am here. If you remove the chains of oppression, the menacing hand, the malicious word, if you offer your compassion to the hungry and satisfy the suffering, then shall your light shine through the darkness, and your night become bright as noon. Adonai will guide you always, slake your thirst in parched places, give strength to your bones. You shall be like a well-watered garden, an unfailing spring. From you they will rebuild ancient ruins, lay foundations for ages to come. And you shall be called the one who mends the breach and brings back the streets for dwelling. If you cease to trample Shabbat, stop pursuing your affairs on my holy day. If you call Shabbat a delight, the holy day of Adonai honored, and if you honor God by not doing business or speaking of everyday matters, then shall you take pure delight in Adonai. I will lift up your journey on earth to the highest of places and nourish you from the heritage of your father Jacob. For thus spoke Adonai.
So before the blessing afterwards, an advertisement. By the Krieger entrance, there's a large poster with everything we're doing this year for Tikkun Olam. To take the words of sacred text and make them real is what we are about. So please look at that list and find out how you want to get involved or what you want to do to make the world a better place. Blessing afterwards.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, tzur kol haolamim, tzadik bechol hadorot, ha'el ha'ne'eman, ha'omer ve'oseh, ha'mdaber u'mkayim, shekol devarav emet v'tzedek. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al hanvi'im ve'al Yom Kippurim hazeh shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu limchicha ve'lislicha ulchapara lechavod ultifaret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach umvarchim otach yitbarach shimcha befi kol chai tamid leolam va'ed Udvarcha emet v'kayam la'ad. Baruch atah Adonai.
Baruch Shemo.
Melech mohel v'saleach la'avonoteinu v'la'avonot amo beit Yisrael u'ma'avir ashmotenu bechol shana v'shana. Melech al kol haaretz mekadesh Yisrael v'yom HaKippurim.
Amen. Fine. Oh, broke again.
Please rise as the Torah is returned to the ark. We are on page 290.
יהללו את שם אדוני, כי נזקף שמו לבדו. הודו ארץ ושמיים, וירם קרן לעמו, תהילה לכל חסידיו, לבני ישראל,
Thank you all.
Just a quick word of warning before I begin. I am going to be talking about sexual harassment and Me Too, along with some other forms of abuse, and so I just wanted you to know that. I'm not planning on being graphic, and I don't think it will be inappropriate for kids, but I wanted to give you the opportunity to make that choice for yourself or your family. So when I was 18, during the summer between high school and college, I worked at a Jewish overnight camp. This was the camp where youth leaders went to learn from the leaders of the Reform movement. Professors from HUC, from my rabbinical school, served as faculty there, and the directors of various departments in the Union for Reform Judaism visited and taught. By that summer, I knew I wanted to go to rabbinical school, so I took any opportunity I could to spend time with these leaders, especially the professors. I connected really well with one of the few professors who spent the entire summer at camp and who led some of my favorite camp activities. We also enjoyed similar pastimes like word games, and as a result, we hung out with a similar group of people. Toward the middle of the summer, I noticed that I was spending a lot of time with this professor. At first, it was wonderful to get to know someone who could be a mentor and reference as I pursued my dream. But then it started to get uncomfortable, like something was a little off. Sometimes when I was expecting others to be around, it was just the two of us. I tried to widen my circle of friends and make sure that even when it was just the two of us, we were in public and crowded areas. He got upset and claimed I was avoiding him. He was right. I didn't want him to know that, but he was. Because after all, he was my in for rabbinical school. I talked to some of my friends about it. Most of them said that I was overreacting. They assured me that he would never do anything inappropriate, that they loved spending time with him, and he was a great scholar and teacher. There were a few whispers. Two of my friends said that he had a tendency to latch on to one of the young female staff. Even so, they assured me he was harmless. He certainly didn't seem harmless when he needled me into joining him for an evening in New York City to see a musical on Broadway. I remember begging friends to join us so I wouldn't have to be all alone with him, but no one did. My heart pounded the entire way into the city and the entire way back. This was in the early days of cell phones when roaming charges were astronomical, but still I gripped my cell phone with one hand like it was a lifeline, and I had the other hand ready to open the door and jump if necessary. Luckily, nothing happened. But as the summer was wrapping up, he cornered me in an empty cabin to ask me if we could see each other romantically. He mentioned that he had enjoyed our date to New York. All I could think to do was to let him down gently and agree to remain friends, but I avoided being alone in a cabin after that. If I thought leaving camp would be enough separation, I was wrong. During my first month of college, I received messages from this professor almost every day. I stopped responding. And then mutual friends started to get involved when he tried to find out why I wasn't responding to him. Finally, I called him to tell him in no uncertain terms that he was not to contact me anymore. No, not even to send me that Rosh Hashanah greeting card that he had already picked out. The holidays came and went, and I received nothing from him, and so I started to relax and focus on being a college student. And then just before Thanksgiving, I received a letter that had a return receipt and signature confirmation. It was 8 pages typed on gold-edged stationery, and it included his picture. In addition to some updates on his life, he hoped that we could reconnect, perhaps even in person. He also reminded me that the Jewish world is tiny and we travel in the same circles, so shouldn't we be able to talk at least? And really, he would prefer that I reach out to him, but he knew he could find all of my contact information in the school directory online. Finally, I had clear evidence that I wasn't making things up or overreacting. And I used it. I went to the police and I went to the camp director, and they both responded appropriately, even if they couldn't do everything that I wanted in order to protect myself and others. That being said, I still wonder if I could have or should have done more. I've done quite a bit of reflecting on this episode over the last year, especially with the emergence of the hashtag #MeToo movement. The way I like to remember the story is that once the line was clearly crossed, I responded quickly and worked to prevent future predation. Yes, this professor was inappropriate, but I took swift and decisive action because no one messes with me. In this version of the story, I have power and agency, and the people around me supported me. But through the writing process, I've also had to remember the times when I felt like I had almost no power and virtually no support. I had to remember that until this letter arrived, only a few of my peers believed that this professor might have crossed some boundaries. Some thought that I had brought it on myself for spending so much time with him. Others insisted that he was a good guy, a great educator, and an amazing scholar, as if that was enough to exonerate him. And there was the regular assertion that since there hadn't been any physical, sexual contact, I was just imagining the whole thing. It's this version of the story that truly makes it a hashtag #MeToo experience. It's not just that he was inappropriate with me, but that he used his reputation and power to get away with it. It's not just that he was inappropriate with me, but that the people around me downplayed my experience and shifted blame to me. It's not that he was just inappropriate with me, but that this turned out to be a pattern of behavior that was mostly ignored. Also, it's just that he was inappropriate with me. Hashtag #MeToo. For those of you unsure what hashtag #MeToo is, it's a movement that has sprouted over the past year to raise awareness of the prevalence of sexual harassment, misconduct, and assault, especially in the workplace. It often involves calling out serial offenders who have been protected by status and reputation. Using social media and other public forums, survivors can finally assert the power that was otherwise taken away or suppressed to protect the offender. It's a movement that rejects the practice of considering people's physical and emotional well-being as collateral damage, the side effects of greats rising to the top. It's a recognition that this behavior is a form of oppression. Oppression. Let's talk about that. We usually imagine a tyrant enslaving people or enacting unfair and unreasonable laws to keep people in their place. Maybe we think of slavery in America, the Nazi regime, or apartheid in South Africa. But the dictionary defines oppression as the exercise of authority or power in a burdensome, cruel, or unjust manner. When a person uses their position and connections to harass someone who's trying to network and find mentors, that's oppression. When the community supports an alleged offender for reasons unrelated to the accusation, that's oppression. When victims are blamed for their actions while the perpetrators are excused, that's oppression. No, when bystanders stay silent so as not to risk the fallout of standing up, that's oppression. No, it's not the oppression of a tyrant, it's systemic oppression, which means that we, all of us, uphold it. With systemic oppression, we too are oppressors. That's why speaking out about our stories is so important. Our stories remind us that oppression is not distant history or in a faraway country. It is right here and right now, and we are part of it. There is so much systemic oppression that I can only begin to name the different manifestations. Hashtag #MeToo represents just one of the dozens that come to mind, most of which are in another document because there was no way I could fit them all into this sermon. There's no way to delve into them all without it all becoming painfully overwhelming. If you're looking for injustice and oppression, you don't have to look far to find it. Just look. Just look for the ways that people assert their power when they can, not just when they should. Look for the ways that people joke about put-downs and derogatory remarks they've made, as though the fault belongs on their victim for being offended. Look for the ways that people excuse behavior in themselves or in the people they value while they attack and criticize the same exact behavior in others. Look for the ways that people turn a blind eye and stay silent when they see injustice, making the victims defend themselves and hoping to avoid having to get involved. And look inside. How often are you one of those people asserting power, joking, excusing, or ignoring? How often am I? I know that was a hard question, one that might be making you squirm in your seats right now and come up with reasons why it was okay in that situation. I know what it's like because I'm doing it too. Because it is so much easier to judge others than to judge ourselves. It is so much easier to understand why it made sense for us and not for them. It's so much easier to sit here and say, I would do it differently, even though we know we haven't. So sit for a moment and reflect. Acknowledge those times when you should have done something different. Don't make excuses for it, accept it. And feel that gnawing of guilt in the pit of your belly. It's uncomfortable, right? It's actually the point of today. We're supposed to feel uncomfortable and guilty on Yom Kippur. That's why we fast and beat our chests and don't engage in pleasurable activities. We are told in the Torah to afflict ourselves today, not as a form of self-flagellation, but to feel the pain of oppression, to remember that whether we have hurt others directly or by not getting involved, we are part of the system that keeps people down. Yes, even those of us who have suffered often perpetuate that experience for others. But perhaps feeling some of that pain ourselves today, perhaps reminding ourselves of what it was like, will encourage us to change our ways and change our society. We were reminded that our discomfort has a purpose in this morning's Haftarah that Josh so beautifully read. Is this the fast I desire? A day for people to starve their bodies? Is it bowing the head like a reed and lying in sackcloth and ashes? Do you call that a fast, a day when the eternal is favorable? No, this is the fast I desire, to unlock the fetters of wickedness and untie the cords of the yoke, to let the oppressed go free and to break off every yoke. It's to share your bread with the hungry and to take the wretched poor into your home. When you see the naked, clothe them, and don't ignore your kin. It's actually a privilege to be able to observe Yom Kippur in prayer and reflection and by abstaining from bodily pleasures. We choose to feel the effects of oppression rather than having that be our everyday experience. But our atonement today means nothing if we still uphold oppressive practices and oppressive people during the rest of the year. If we leave this sanctuary hungry and uncomfortable, but essentially unchanged, we have wasted our time, our prayers, and our fast. So let's awaken to the call of our tradition, the call of those in pain and suffering, the call of the shofar that we heard on Rosh Hashanah and we'll hear again tonight. What can we do? First of all, a reminder, we can't do everything. The injustice that fills even our community alone is so great that we will become overwhelmed and unable to do anything. And while sometimes I wish I could just hit the reset button on some of our systems and the culture that supports them, we can't change whole systems all at once, but we have to start. The best place? though it's probably the hardest place, is to start with ourselves. Remember those actions and inactions that cause the gnawing guilt? Behave differently next time you have the chance. Behaving differently might mean holding in that inappropriate comment and working on building the filter between brain and mouth. Behaving differently might mean calling out the person who made an inappropriate comment in the moment, showing that people are willing to stand up for what's right. Behaving differently might mean using your power and privilege to create space for someone else who has less. Behaving differently might mean acknowledging someone's concerns and fears rather than brushing them aside. Behaving differently might mean supporting people who are uncomfortable by being present with them in difficult situations. And behaving differently might mean excluding a person whose behavior won't change because their reputation or contributions are not worth the damage to others. I have no illusions that I will succeed in behaving differently all the time, let alone that each of you will. I still wonder if I did the right thing 15 years ago and if I did enough. And while that experience changed some of my behavior, I still wonder if that has been enough. Maybe it has for now, but it's certainly not enough for the future. I keep trying, and we have to keep trying to do better, to stand up against oppressive behaviors, and to avoid engaging in them ourselves. So let's keep working, now and in the future, so that we can make this the fast that God desires.
Just a few things, as you probably noticed by your watches, all times on Yom Kippur are
approximate.
Right. So after this, when people clear out, we will actually set up a semicircle in the Falk Auditorium with the Torah to do the afternoon service. The approximate times notwithstanding, at 2:45 we will be going to our Bet Midrash sessions. Now I'm going to try to do this from memory, which is always very dangerous. So Jared Cohen is going to be teaching about what do we do with our environment when we want to have it conform to Jewish values, but we live in an age of radical skepticism. David Shribman is going to be leading a session on truth and truthiness in the world we live in and how we evaluate truth as a necessary Jewish value in political and journalistic terms. Rhonda Rosen is going to be leading meditation and contemplation upstairs in the Barnett Chapel. Ram Kosowski has been ill, but he is currently going to be here to teach his session on biblical archaeology. He is an amazing scholar if you've never had a chance to learn with him. Pat Kluss, I thought I saw Pat back there, and Malky Frank are going to be teaching about the new community Chevra Kadisha, which is not so new anymore. It's well more than a decade old, as they try to tell us that simplicity and dignity are the ways to be dealing with our dead, not with ostentatious displays, or not with things that aren't even necessarily that expensive. And Alan Olafson. Is Alan here at this late service? Where is it? Is Alan? I don't see him. Where? No. Alan's going to be leading our moth-inspired storytelling session down in the Rogaliner Lounge, where people will be talking about their Jewish journeys. There have been several late add-ons. I'm excited to hear those for the first time. And I'll be drifting between David Shribman and the storytelling group. A lot of bags were taken last night. We're really, really glad. Please fill them by Simchat Torah and bring them back here, which is when they'll be collected. At 4 o'clock, we will be gathering here for I Am Jonah. That's one of the reasons why we need to make sure the sanctuary is clear so they can make the space what it needs to be for the incredible production you're about to see from Attack Theater, our own lay people, our own musicians, and me participating as well under the leadership of Cantor Berman. And then at 5:15, is approximately the time Yizkor is going to begin. We always encourage people to come for Yizkor, and we always encourage people to stay after Yizkor for Ne'ilah. Ne'ilah is the time where we leave together as a community, having wrung every bit of love, devotion, and faith out of our community and these hours that we can. So hopefully if you'll be able to stay during the whole day, and if not, maybe you'll be able to come back for Yizkor through Ne'ilah. So we're going to conclude our service, even though there's no conclusion of the service today, on page 318 with Aleinu. We'll ask you to rise, and then we'll have a final song, and then we'll proceed on to the afternoon service. Right. Oh, excuse me. Well, we don't do Aleinu, excuse me. My bad. I just contradicted myself. Now I have to go to next Yom Kippur, and this one isn't even over. So, on page 318, we're going to open the ark, and we're going to sing Hayom Te'amseinu. Your part is to say Amen with great enthusiasm, joy, and in tune, we hope. We'll see. Right, Gary? Okay. Hayom, 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 hayom te'amseinu.
Amen.
Hayom, 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 hayom tevarcheinu.
Amen.
Hayom, 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 tigad leheinu. Amen. Hayom, 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 dirshenu lehetova. Amen. Hayom, 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 hayom t'reveinu lechayim tovim. Amen. Hayom, 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 hayom tishma shavateinu. Amen. Hayom, 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 hayom t'mechenu bimin zidkecha. Amen. Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.
Okay, done with this part.